Well, I hope we get to kill some stuff this round.
Oh, they'll be killing, I'm sure. So, it takes you guys 2 days to ride back from where you were doing the necromancer. What's name? So I guess you're riding hard and whatnot. Anyway, you guys arrive back at Fort Richard, which is where the rest of you have come to congregate. I'm not sure. I think everyone except Elliot was here for when you guys got to the fort, right?
Yep, I was here.
All right, Elliot. So all you missed was arriving at this large fortification right at the my train of thought, on the northern border of the Silewood. There is this human fort that was built. I guess there's human forts built all around the perimeter of the Silewood, but this one is quite large. It is the most northern one, and it is a bit of a protection as well as an outpost to the north as well, right? So this is one of the most northern human outposts, and it is the most northern one around the Silewood, so it's doubly large. This particular outpost is beset with a massive army of the undead.
Okay. Are we watching the battle?
Yes, you are. The battle has not reached the walls of the fort yet. There are enough human, elven, and no, that's it at this point. Just human and elven warriors out there. You are being supplied by supply lines from the Brechter halflings, who keep food and equipment and things coming in. You know that the Brechter are traders by and large, and the halflings are masters of the trade negotiations in the Brechter. So there's no finer merchants in all the land than a Brechter halfling.
Have we been to Brechter? That name is very familiar.
You passed very close to it. Here, I'll throw you guys up on the world map. So this kind of area here, the borders aren't really marked in, but I'll throw down a quickie border here in red for you. This area, like here, is the Brechter, and then like I think the border goes like that, and then this area. This is the Brechter, and this is Anwire, and this is the Jurek Highlands, and down here is the Kinsai.
Gotcha.
And way over here is the Vosgard. But you guys really haven't had much interaction with the Vosgard. So at one point, you guys did come down through the Krakenrite and found harbor here, where you crossed over, and this is, on the northern border of the Gorgon's crown here is where you went into the Shadow Realm in that fort. So this is as close as you came to the Brechter, was up here. You guys have kind of been all over, well-traveled.
Except for now, because we're pretty close to the border right now.
Fair enough, yeah. Yeah, I guess this is, now you're much closer. This is kind of where you guys are right now, up here.
So in our while we were heading east through the Silewood, we got kind of off course and we ended up north, or like we got to that road and that took and we used Arwen's safe passage to get us to this area.
That's what happened. You got to the road, and then it just so happened that Arwen was heading south on that same road. So you guys met up on the road. She jumped into the woods and backtracked a little bit, found the elves that were kind of following / leading you guys around, had a little interaction with them, got some of your gear back, and then you guys booted it up here to get to the fort because you knew that Herpes and Hatim were up here waiting for you.
Gotcha.
All right. So the fort itself and the battlefield is shrouded in cloud and heavy fog. So it's almost supernatural cloud cover. They hang very low and thick and heavy, and the light that comes through, even in in the height of noon is still gray and washed out, as though everything has kind of had the color and warmth sapped out of it. There is also a severely chilly breeze coming from the north, which whips up the occasional light and fluffy snow that doesn't stay on the ground. It just kind of whips away. It's hovering right around 0 degrees, so it's like muddy, and when you first wake up there's that crusty layer of ice on top of things, but very quickly throughout the course of battle it gets crunched up and the ground just gets churned up into mud soup again. Let's see. Elliot has been here for... So, while you've been here, Elliot, there has been a assault of skeletal warriors, including skeletal cavalry and skeletal charioteers, which have been fighting, trying to make their way to the fort. But the humans and elves have a very good defensible position here and have dug trenches and built palisades and all this stuff, and have been able to keep them back from the walls. The only time that a few skeletal warriors have managed to get through the lines and get close to breaching the walls, the wizards that have been on the lookout here have taken them down. Oh, also periodically, just trying to remember all this stuff. Periodically, there are giant bats that fly overhead with little evil gnomes riding them who drop flame bombs and shrapnel bombs, and sometimes drop skeletal warriors into the fort itself. But most of the fighting is going on in the field in front of where the fort is, even out of bow shot range. There were a couple ballistas, but I think that all but one were destroyed. Yeah, all but one were destroyed. So there's one ballista left that you guys are using to create suppressing fire out into the battlefield. But for the most part, it's all taking place out in the fields in front of the fort. What else has been going on? So about 5 days ago, Arwen and Herpes and Murgatroyd and an elven warrior named Hayan, who's been hanging out with you guys, all went to try and reconnoiter further afield to try and suss out something about the necromancers, because as quickly as you guys are killing the skeletal and zombie warriors, the necromancers are coming out and just raising them back up again. And every one of you that they kill gets raised back up and adds to their numbers. So it's a little demoralizing. And 2 days ago, the day that they left, the undead army received reinforcements from the Gorgon's crown. So now, joining the ranks of the undead are humans dressed in like black lacquer armor that bear the mark of the Gorgon's crown, as well as some tieflings and some assorted demons, as well as other powerful dark wizards and creatures of the Gorgon. And 2 days ago, a dirge-like chant started to go up from the opposing army, and it's been going on all day and all night for the last 2 days. Just this non-stop droning chant. And that brings us back to today. So, as the sun rises on this day, gray and cold, you rise yourself from where you've been able to make a bunk and sleep there and massage some warmth back into your limbs. Hurry over to one of the many cook fires that are going and find some tea and some porridge. The halfling traders have been bringing in lots of food, so there's plenty of oatmeal and things like that for you guys to have for breakfast, and meat and vegetables. So they're keeping you very well supplied at a cost, but it's worth it to have an army marches on its stomach and blah 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 blah. So yes, as the sun rises on this day, the adventurers who disappeared, Murgatroyd and Herpes and Arwen and Hayan, return to the fort. And just as you Elliot, standing on the battlements with your steamy bowl of porridge, kind of looking out over the field where still even working throughout the night, your side are still collecting the dead and wounded and bringing them back into the fort and the various hospital areas and stuff. You gaze out to the northwest and see your friends returning, and you hear a lookout call from the south that there is a monster coming up from the Salwood.
A monster? Can I see it?
Not from where you are. You'd have to run around to the other side of the battlements.
It'd take me a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it just, by the time you get there, you can see a bunch of the elven archers have got their bows ready, they've got arrows knocked, and they're drawing down on a figure of a minotaur who is slowly walking from the Salwood and coming towards this fort.
Sorry, just as a quick addendum, in the past 3 days, gathered any weapons from this side, or are they all tapped out?
Yeah, if you need any weapons, you can get some.
Sort of anything basic from the player's handbook?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Can I spot if it's Jack or not?
Oh yeah, you can tell it's Jack.
Oh, okay. I'll call to the archers as he's an ally. He's a friend.
They look at you quizzically, and say, "That is a minotaur. That is not a friend."
He came with us. He traveled with us. Do I know Arwen's name yet, or are we still just calling her Apocalyptica?
That's up to Crystal.
I think the group asked me last time what my name was, and I told them, so I think everybody knows now.
Okay, so I'd say Arwen, the elf we traveled with, will vouch for him. He's an ally. He helped us get here. Killed many an orc on the way.
Well, the elves are hesitant, of course, at first, but because you are who you are, and the fact that Herpes and Hatim have been up here making a really good name for the Rod Stewards, they kind of nod to you and say, just if you're sure, then we'll let him in.
Well, yeah, I'll is he within calling range? I'll call out to Jack.
He will be soon enough, yeah.
Yeah. Does he look super injured? Like, does he have a ton of arrows in his back, sort of thing?
No, in fact, he looks good. He looks refreshed. So, Josh, you can decide if you want to keep playing Heian or switch over to Jack.
I guess I'll switch back to Jack, even though he's poor now.
It's true. When you come back to Jack, you'll be at full health and full healing surges, and we'll email discussion Jack's little walkabout and his spiritual West names. But essentially it's, Jack is back to being good with his deity.
He has a spear, and may be naked. That's about it.
Isn't he always naked?
No, he wore chainmail before. So, yep.
So yes, the elves and humans in the fort are giving Jack a wide berth, but they're not openly attacking you or anything. Yeah,
Jack is going straight to surveying the battlefield.
All right, you climb up onto the battlements and stand next to Elliot, who continues to eat his oatmeal, and look out over as I described before.
Good to see you, Jack. How was your trip through the woods?
Enlightening. I think.
Right. Well, here's where we're at, and I'll tell him about what we've been seeing and what we've gathered, all that kind of stuff.
Excellent. One thing that you do all see and notice is your other 4 teammates ride up. And they open the gates right away when they see Herpes and Arwen are there.
So, do we know where they were?
They just said they were going to go and do some reconnoitering. You're not sure where they have been or what happened.
Gotcha. Does Jack or anyone have any news of where the orcs versus the elves are at?
You ask around, and some of the elves have heard information that there is still fighting going on amongst the orcs and the elves in the south. Oh, this is the 7th day. So actually, word will just have reached, we'll say just before dawn, a messenger arrived that said that the fighting has in the south has the nature of the fighting in the south has changed. That there seems to be conflict amongst the orcs, as though there is a wedge being driven between several factions inside the orc army. A civil war, per se, amongst the orcs.
Interesting.
Did Jack have anything to do with that?
That's all the information that you can hear from these guys, but maybe.
Jack is going to volunteer to go out with some of the soldiers for the day's battles.
I thought the battles hadn't reached our keep yet.
No, every day, and it for the first little bit, you hear tell Elliot that for the first week or so, it was 24 hours of nonstop fighting, and it was just zombies, slow-moving zombies coming and then they'd die, and the necromancers would raise them and raise whoever was killed, and they just kept multiplying. Eventually, they got exhausted from the zombies, stopped, and that's when the skeletal warriors started, and they started attacking every day, and they attacked. Oh my goodness, they attack with tactics and technique. So whereas the zombies were just a horde of nasty coming at you, the skeletal warriors form up and actually make a strategic go of it. And now that the sun is kind of rising, you can see their ranks forming. You borrow a telescope from someone on the battlements here, and you can see that there are actual skeletal leaders and flag bearers with pennants walking behind them, and they're gesturing, and their mouths are opening and closing as though they're giving orders. And it's kind of spooky.
So it looks like the skeletons are giving orders. It doesn't look like some wizard from somewhere else is controlling them en masse.
It's hard to tell. Like, as you scan around the horizon, you see that there's definitely skeletons giving orders to other skeletons, but occasionally you'll see a necromancer and a couple, like, really nasty-looking leather-clad tieflings that are giving orders. So, like, one of these tiefling warlock guys will order a bunch of skeletons, and then those skeletons will spread out and order a bunch of So the chain of command is definitely like skeletons, and then maybe some wizard warlocks, and then these demon tieflings, and you're not sure where it goes up, but they're organized enough that the skeletons are giving orders to other skeletons.
Gotcha. I wonder if our game plan should be take out the top of the chain. Maybe the skeletons would fall Phantom Menace style.
I feel that's the only way we're gonna win.
But can we all try and find everybody so we can have like a little powwow about what to do here?
Yeah. I'm sure Herpes will be able to fill you guys in on what happened once he's off the phone. But yes, it's easy to find the party and get everybody together. Oh, I see Mitch is on now.
Hello.
How's it going?
Yeah. How's it going?
I know you guys are waiting for the recap from Herpes. I don't want to spoil it. I want to hear his version.
It's cool.
And would have a very good report to give.
Oh, okay. You can do that, Josh.
Okay. Hayen, the elf that keeps on caressing his shield, gives a rough descriptor of where they went, like in behind the enemy lines, and how they found one where they think the chanting is coming from, and that it's being guarded by multiple very ugly-looking demons, and there were slave labor going on there with elves and humans, and I think there was a minotaur as well. Oh, look, there's a minotaur. And yeah, he doesn't know much more than that.
That's right. There was another minotaur being used as slave labor.
That's pretty metal. Just,
Yeah, this is we may be in Bruce Campbell territory here.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
My boomstick.
Is there a S-Mart nearby?
Oh, what?
S-Mart.
Is smart?
S-Mart.
Yes.
Oh,
Shop
S-Mart. That's funny.
Can we hold off on the pop culture references till Dave gets back?
Dave hasn't seen Army of Darkness? Oh, man. Like Arrested Development I can tolerate, but not Army of Darkness. What a great movie.
Hey, so sorry, I'm just working right now.
They were waiting for a recap of what you guys discovered, and Hayan just gave us a little one, but if Herpes had his side of the story, I'm sure that the rest of the party would like to hear what you discovered on your recon mission.
Just trying to remember. Sorry, I'm still in grown-up working mode right now.
It's cool.
Yeah, so from what I remember, we were up in that area, and there was a bunch of people around, and I forget what race they were, but they were doing things, and we tried to, Murgatroyd and the elf, Hayon or whatever, they were doing what they were doing, and I tried to sneak over down over where the necromancers are. I think some of them were tieflings, and there might have been I can't remember. I think there were tieflings in there, and I know descriptive. My brain is like in 10 different places right now. So they were down there doing their thing, and then Herpes tried to get down there, and I guess they saw Herpes, and then he got fucked up pretty bad, and yeah.
By what? Herpes got fucked up by what?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he critically failed his stealth roll, so he must have stepped on a twig or something, and they hurt him, and then they beat the piss out of him nice and good. But there was some necromancers down there. They were wearing these, I forget what color robes, black or red, or maybe a combination thereof, and they had runes and other magical markings on them. They were standing on some kind of wheel type of thingy. Like, you remember the movie Conan, the first one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where where he had to push that circle around, and like he was standing in front of a thing. Anyway, yeah, they were standing on this thing, and Herpes tried to get down there to disrupt his spell, but he fucked up really bad.
Yikes.
Even though aren't your powers like really strong because we're on that line?
Are we still on a ley line up here?
Not anymore. When they rode around the army and got behind it, they were on a ley line for a little bit, yeah.
So, are you captured, or what's happening with you right now?
No, he's standing
No.
here telling you this story.
At least that's what I remember. I had a really full. I'm just trying to remember what happened.
Do you remember how you got out?
You got beat pretty hard.
Yeah, we made a very, very hastily retreat.
He might have some gaps in his memory from concussions.
Brutal.
Do you need to be healed? Because I can heal you.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm at 30 HP right now. I could definitely use a heal.
Alright, well, I'm gonna lay on hands, and you can spend one of my healing surges. Let me see what that is. Plus 14?
Cool, thank you.
Right on. You even have it in a macro. Nice one, Crystal.
I cannot take credit. Dave set it up, so thanks, Dave.
No worries.
Okay, so I think everybody is now caught up to where we are and what the situation is.
So there was no Dante?
No, there was no Dante. There were other evil tieflings, but no sign of Dante.
Oh, it's totally gonna be end boss.
What happened with Dante?
There was no Dante. I was asking if there was.
Oh, yeah.
We think we're gonna have to fight him.
That'd be cool. I'd like to see Dante again.
All right. Does anyone have any other questions that about what's going on in the visible range?
So,
my way.
You're here. You're with everybody in the fort. You went out with them, Mitch, because we didn't know if you were going to show up or not, but we just had you unconscious over the back of Murgatroyd's horse the whole time.
Nice.
he was sleepy. Do the line, like, what's our battlefield situation like? Is there lots of cover, or is it more sort of area?
The battlefield is like plains, but hilly. It would be the same kind of geography as like
Hills.
yeah, like Northern Shield. So where there's big rocky outcrops all of a sudden, but then there's also flat kind of field areas, which makes the battlefield itself a little bit treacherous and tricky. Which is one of the reasons why this fort is here, is because it's a little like 300 situation where this is the best place for an army to kind of march down, right? If you take a look at the map, zoomed in nice and close, you can see that there's like mountains on one side and forests on the other. So to come down through here without crossing over into the Brectur from the Gorgon's Crown, this is kind of the most direct route. And you know, they have works going on trying to clear some of the forests to make ramps and things so they can get their wagons and armies over the more rugged bits of countryside. But this remains the largest open space to do battle, and you kind of have them penned in a little bit.
So that map is quite literal.
Yeah, the map's pretty literal here. All these drawings. The
Gotcha.
yellow is like a wide, right? That's
Yeah,
an
no, I
over
get you.
exaggeration of your guys, and the gray is an over exaggeration of their guys. The tiny gray circle here is the location where they went to recon. The blue, light blue line is the ley line. The larger gray, I'm wiggling my mouse over it like you guys can see, like some kind of idiot. The larger gray line here is the cloud cover, so it pretty much stretches from horizon to horizon as far as you guys can see.
Okay. Well, do we have an estimate on how many days away they are?
Who are?
The undead.
They're here. They're here and now. You guys have been actively engaged in combat with the undead for over 2 weeks.
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought like where we were, like we were just sort of seeing the undead coming, and your like 24 hours a day was like farther out, and and we retreated to the keep.
No, the fight has been here on the plains of Fort Richard.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, how about the Rod Stewards get a plan together and I don't know. Do we have any tacticians amongst us to kind of how are the Fort Richard's forces? Are they holding up? Do they have leaders and generals? Should one of us kind of stay, up and direct the forces?
They have leaders. They have commanders of both the elven troops and the human troops. They are currently waiting for reinforcements from the dwarves, as well as news from the south. As soon as whatever's going on with the orcs is over, hopefully elves from the south will join them. Because of the fighting in the south of the Silewood with the orcs, the southernmost elves from down here can't get up north to help you guys fight yet, because they're being stopped on the southern borders of the Silewood to fight with the orcs. But when all that's done, you will receive reinforcements hopefully from them. Supply lines, like I said, are still flowing well from the Havling Brectur.
Do the commanders, generals, do they have like time? Do they have a plan for us? Like, have they been kind of directing us, or are they kind of just letting us do whatever for the past however long we've been here?
When Hatim and Herpes first showed up, they really didn't know what was going to happen, especially the humans. Anwire has been kind of at peace for at least 100 years. So in the lifespan of every single one of these soldiers, there has never been a quote-unquote war. There's been skirmishes and things, but this is the largest scale battle that any of these soldiers have ever seen. So they weren't really prepared, and especially they weren't prepared for the undead. Most of these soldiers have never even seen an undead before. So Hatim and Herpes were invaluable with the experience that they shared, and it gained the Rod Stewards a pretty fair amount of leeway with the commanders. So as long as Herpes and Hatim vouch for you and say that you are in fact a member of the Rod Stewards, you're kind of allowed to go wherever you want and do the things that you want. If you want to get some men together to do special things, you got to clear it with them first, but they're pretty open to assistance from you guys as adventurers.
While the group is deciding what the longer term plan is, because I presume a plan will last longer than a day, Jack would like to see about possibly getting chainmail and a shield and going out and fighting for a day or however long it takes for them to decide what to do.
Absolutely. Yes, you are. As soon as you kind of identify yourself as on their side, these elves and Anurians are more than happy to outfit you with the largest armor that they have, which is still a little snug on you, and give you whatever weaponry you want, slap a big helmet on your head. You'll go out and join the fight against the skeletal forces. That's totally fine. Does Jack
Minotaurs are good.
Have turning abilities? Are you that kind of cleric?
No, just a few radiant abilities.
Okay, well that will help as well.
Not many, but a few.
I guess this... Sorry, go ahead.
Arwen, you're going out into battle with Jack and the rest of the human and elf forces?
I want to say no, because I feel they're just fighting a worthless battle that they can't win. I want to take down something that's controlling those things.
Yeah, I'd like to spend the day kind of with the telescope watching their lines and ideally spotting a kind of, at least one kind of, controlling hand. And
if I may speak out of character?
Go
Sure.
ahead.
That was weird.
We saw?
Well said.
We heard nothing there, Josh.
Hello?
We hear you
Yeah,
now.
we hear you now.
Oh, weird. We've been here for about 2 weeks, and besides the skeletal field commanders and the occasional necromancer and tiefling, the only real signs of leadership that was seen was in the back lines when Hayen and crew, went scouting.
Gotcha.
They don't really have the leader isn't at the front, so to speak. But there are smaller commanders like the skeletal commanders and the tieflings and whatnot that are coming in and out of the battle.
Right. And are we just fighting? Are we fighting like an escalator sort of thing here? Like, are the skeletons that we fell coming back up? Are they being collected at the end of the day? Like, is this a Sisyphic situation, or is this like just a slog?
They are, yes, at the end of the combat situation, a little skirmishing parties of necromancers who are surrounded by a protective shield of zombies and skeletons come out, and the low-lying cloud cover, which is constantly charged with sheet lightning and stuff, channels a lightning bolt down into the necromancers, which then gets spread out over the field, and any corpses that it touches get raised up and go back to join the undead army. Now, your guys have been compensating for that and trying to, as people fall, friend or foe, they're burning them, decapitating them, trying to make it so that the bodies cannot be raised, and also being ready to counter with cavalry and other people to take out these little parties of necromancers that come out. And every time it happens, you guys do take out 1 or 2 necromancers, but there just seem to be so many of them that every night necromancers come out and raise up the undead and take them back to the lines.
They're also very cautious as well.
Yeah,
Do
they're
we have,
super skittery.
Can Mitch, can Vince or somebody arcana that kind of cloud to see if we can determine its origin spot?
Yes, that's a great question to ask either Hayen or Herpes.
Hayen and
He
Herpes.
doesn't know magic.
Herpes?
Sorry, what was that?
Did you see in your reconnaissance the origin of the cloud of death here, or can you arcana to maybe determine it?
Well, I did see those necros. At least I think they were necros, if I remember correctly. What?
Just it sounds so close to like Negroes.
Yeah, so I saw the necromancers on. They looked like they were on this pedestal, is about waist high. Yeah, Johnny was at it.
So like at the back when you did your reconnaissance, there was a bunch of them kind of creating this cloud of death sort of situation.
So for Herpes, it was only 2 days ago, and he hasn't had the same kind of busy week that Dave has had. So Herpes remembers much more clearly that they were a group of 8 storm sorcerers, much like Herpes himself, and they were perched upon this gigantic wheel pedestal that was engraved with magical glyphs and symbols. And the entire thing, the turntable pedestal, was being spun by slaves that were being whipped by these demons. So like a gigantic static electrical charge unit, this wheel was empowering the storm sorcerers to generate this storm and create the extra magical electricity that the necromancers need.
Like demons?
Like straight up demons.
Like Sisyphus level?
Like 10 feet
No,
tall.
not her level, but if you recall, and I think Elliot was there for that, Sisyphus did show up and say that her brother, Crixus, was leading this army of undead.
Right.
Some of you have a tattoo to help you against Crixus, or at least Sisyphus said the tattoo will help you.
Okay. So, do the commanders here know that we're fighting demons?
Yes. They suspect, and with your guys' input, know that there are demons out there on the horizon. You've probably seen, you've seen tieflings through your scope, which is to the general populace a demon. But they don't really appreciate the scale. None of them have ever been to the Shadow Realm, and maybe only like 0.1% of them have heard of the Shadow Realm. All right, as an actual place, right? Everyone knows. Oh yes, it's like hell, right? How many people really believe it? Let alone how many people have actually been there to see it.
Right.
So they're like, yes, demons. We know there's tieflings right there, but they don't really appreciate what it means that there is a demon out there on this battlefield.
Okay. I think Arwen's totally right. I think we should flank. What was it like? What was it like to get back there? How difficult would it be to get our?
It just took 3 days, but they were able to do it, right? You just had to pick your way kind of through the hills and whatnot. You might be able to do it in slightly shorter time with Arwen, but she is she's from the Silewood, but this is just a little too far north, so her area knowledge would stop at the border of the Silewood. So it's still going to take you guys about 3 days.
I think that's the only way to do it. So otherwise, like, this is kind of a never-ending. We're just fighting the tide.
Can we like form some raiding parties with some of the other soldiers from not just us going?
Yeah,
I think if we take too many people, then it's going to be we're going to be reducing the force from here, and B, it's going to be harder to get there undetected. But I think if they have any like healers or anything, because I'm pretty much out of like healing potions and everything. Oh, do they have like, potions and stuff that I could replenish my supply with, John?
That is a good question.
I'd hope that they'd have like an alchemist kind of brewing stuff throughout the day.
They do. The halfling traders are bringing in stuff, but as of right now, all of the healing potions are gone. The halfling just kind of shrugs and points to his wagon. He says, "Yeah, we'll have a shipment back in 2 or 3 days with some more healing potions."
Put me down for a special order.
You got it, buddy.
Okay. And we don't know of anybody around here that makes them.
Not in Fort Richard, no.
Yeah. Do they have any like paladins or anybody here, or is it mostly like just sort of human fighters?
Oh, that's sad. You mentioned the paladins. There was a great paladin warrior that was here fighting with them, but who fell during one of the first week in fighting with the zombies. It was a severe blow to morale. But there are lots of clerics and stuff around. And Arwen reminds you that she's a paladin.
Yeah, no, I just mean like if we could go with like a small little special forces group of a couple NPC healers and ranged attackers, then your bow talents could be put to the use they deserve.
That is what I was thinking as well.
You would have far more luck getting archers than healers because of the nature of this particular army of undead. Anyone who can turn is a very high priority. So even like apprenticed clerics have been pulled off of the back lines and put a helmet on their heads and a holy symbol in their hands and pushed out there into the fight.
Okay, maybe let's get some archers then, if we can, or just go ourselves. We might not be making it out of this one.
That went in last time.
I don't know. I mean, having more healing potions would be great.
Running through the wood on my own, have I regained my healing surges? Because I'm at 4, and that doesn't sound right.
Anytime that you're like traveling overland for the day, it's a balance of not gaining and not losing. So you haven't really had a time to stop and rest.
I did though. Remember, they gave me that my own room, and
here at the fort, or back at your family's homestead.
I met my father.
Yes, that was here at the fort. So yes, you can go ahead and make an endurance check. I'm sorry, Crystal, we must have skipped over that. Make an endurance check, DC 13, and if you pass, you can regain your Constitution modifier and healing surges.
My endurance sucks.
Oh, especially when you crit fail. So unfortunately, you do not regain any healing surges, so you're still wiped out. You're tired.
And we can, are we likely to have better luck hunting away and gathering food, or is it still, like, destitute up here?
Yeah, they found nothing on their route. Any kind of wildlife that was around has been terrified and scared off just by the sheer evil presence of this storm.
If I can get some herbs, I could transfer some of them to her.
Yeah, you can have some of those herbs. How does that ritual work, Josh?
I'm reading it right now.
Okay, good.
Me and up to 5 participants in the ritual can choose to lose any number of surges and select. No one can have more than their maximum. and I must lose, or one participant must lose 1 healing surge when doing.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that Murgatroyd would give up some healing surges. He tends to be overflowing with healing surges. Although I'm pretty sure even Murgatroyd took a bit of a beating in that last fight.
Yeah. No, he didn't take that much of a beating.
No? I thought he at least got bloodied.
Hayen came close to it.
Okay.
But Jack would be willing to lose 2 surges.
Alright. And
Actually, better idea. Jack and Hayen would both lose 1 surge, and she can get 2.
I missed the start of this conversation because I got kicked off Mumble, so I'm not really sure what's happening.
We're trying to figure out how to give you more surges.
Gotcha.
I don't think no trying. They did it. So Jack and Hayen will lose how many, and then she gains how many?
They're both going to lose 1, and she's going to gain 2.
There you go.
Thank you. Upping to 6.
Alright, I think everybody's on the map up here now.
Oh, yeah, there.
Just prepping. You know, so you can get your levels and everything right. Now, Herpes is hurting. You can spend healing surges to regain health here, Herpes. And I'm sure that Jack will be able to help you out with some healing words to give you bonuses to each of those healing surges to regain. Also, you guys can, if you want, take a day. Take a rest day and make some rolls to regain surges.
I'm at full. That's all of your calls.
Yeah, I'll take a rest day.
You're gonna you have to convince the rest of the party. That means that nobody's doing nothing, or Herpes is staying behind while everyone else goes off to do something.
If half of us want to take a rest day, we can do it. So, Arwen, do you need a rest day as well? And Hayen?
I think I just need 4 hours, but I will go with the majority vote.
Is it Jack or Hayen who's coming with us?
They both go?
If you want to play 2 people, then yeah, that's fine, Josh.
I will play 2 people. We could use extra muscle.
Another mouth to feed.
This mouth comes with rations.
Okay.
Unlike Jack.
So does Hayen and Jack want to, either of them, do they want to take a day?
Is the plan to go and actually take out those 8 storm things?
That's where we're going, yeah.
Because I feel we should probably try and be as close to our best as possible if we want to succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hayen would probably like to rest for at least a day.
But the longer we wait, yada yada yada.
I'm good at rock and
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna add some more ticks to my cocaine counter.
roll. I'm doubly good at rock and roll.
Nice. Do we have a Murgatroyd? Or is he still out?
He's still gone.
Is he likely to come back soon?
Probably.
Okay.
Depends which quote-unquote friend he's giving a lift to downtown.
Wink, wink. Like a keep. I just wanted to make sure you're cool if I wear leather since we're in wear armor, like a battle zone sort of situation.
Yeah, you can wear whatever you want.
I will, and I can get a shield too.
Yeah, 2 shields.
2 shields. Nope. That's too many. 3 is okay, but 2 is too many.
Yes, Jack, you can get a helmet. The smithy cut 2 grooves out of the side so it fits around your horns.
Would Jack's helmet with his horns coming out, would that look in Mitch's words as metal as Dante's old helmet?
No, Jack's helmet looks like a normal human helmet that they just cut 2 grooves out of the side so his horns could come out.
That in itself is pretty metal, though.
I guess just being a minotaur is pretty metal.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fetid rat skull that you had to get tetanus shots if you wore.
Yeah,
So
there doesn't seem to be a specific thing for like a helmet.
No, there's not. No.
my vote is that we just go, but you and Hayen, we're waiting for a third, like if Jack votes to stay, or if...
I think we're filibustering, hoping that Murgatroyd will jump back in here any second.
I guess we'll I guess we're staying for the day. If you Herpes and Hey In want to stay but one day. I think the longer we wait, the worse chances we're gonna have.
All right. So you guys rest for a day. You can all make endurance checks. DC 13.
I'm at full. So can I spend the day doing stuff?
You sure can.
I'd like to kind of ingratiate myself with the troops and see if and kind of let them know what our plan is and see if anyone wants to lend us anything, whether it's like a helper or some food, or if they have like a magic item that they're just kind of sitting on. I can do a social roll if you want for that.
Yeah, my question would be, in what way are you ingratiating yourself with the troops? Just with tales of the Rod Stewards?
Yeah, I mean, since Herpes and Hatim came and impressed them, want to tell everybody kind of about how we all came together and our victory over the Lich and our plan here to take on these mythical demons and these storm monsters at the back of the line to flank them, and kind of a Kickstarter call for aid sort of situation.
No, Crystal, because you can only do one rest period, right? So you only get one chance per day, even though you only need technically 4 hours of sleep. You can't, it's like, as a human, I can't sleep for 8 hours and then immediately force myself to sleep for another 8 hours and feel extra awake. You just feel more like a giant sack of crap.
Usually you don't feel way better after sleeping for 16 hours.
Just con mod, Dave. And Jack unfortunately failed, so I'm going to say that the day when you guys realize you're not going out, Jack put on the chainmail helmet and went out and fought some skeletal warriors. So you don't regain any healing surges, but you don't lose any healing surges. So you're just out there kind of, busting skeletons for the day.
How about Hayen?
Hayen, he made the success, so he can regain his constitution modifier in healing surges.
After my 4
Mod
hours,
plus half
should I
level
go
or
fight
just-
skeletons?
Just mod. Yes, you can go out and fight skeletons as well, Arwen. And they're essentially, half-level skeletons, right? It seems like the army of undead is mostly just kind of stalling for time, throwing minions at you. Each one goes down in one hit. You get tired and sore in the shoulder from swinging your bow, as opposed to getting injured from these creatures. It's more of a workout than a deadly battle.
It's all right. I'm in really good shape.
Excellent. All right.
So to answer your question, I guess it'll be diplomacy is what I'm after.
All right. Let her rip. Diplomacy roll, please.
That's the engineering. There we go.
Yeah, that's much better.
It's funny that those two skills are one number apart. That's funny. And I'll use my charisma bonus to boost that by 2. So 34.
34. Okay. In that case, you find 2 clerics, 4 archers, and 8 soldiers who are willing to go with you.
Really?
Yes.
Sorry, 2 clerics, 4 archers, and how many soldiers?
8.
Wow. Kick ass. Are they all going to come with, rations and food?
Yeah, they have their own kit.
Okay. Well, that's helpful. So, can I get another, can I get a detailed account and we can...
I'm sorry, you cut out there.
Oh, okay. Can I get a detailed account of where the stealth actually failed us so we don't make that mistake again?
You'll have to ask Herpes.
From what I remember, sorry, I'm just trying to remember.
It's cool.
There was a zone down there, like what Johnny said, where all the storm mages were on that up. On the map up. I don't know what cardinal point that was, but on the map I went up a little bit just to get around, and then as I came back down, I was trying to approach the platform with all the mages as I was walking down, and stepped on a twig or tripped on a rock and said "fuck" nice and loud. Something to that effect. And
You fell flat on your face.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
All right,
that
so
hand
that's-
guy's a dick.
Wasn't like a zone where there wasn't like a spot where you were spotted. It was when you were approaching the platform.
Yeah, we're trying to get to.
That area was like, relatively speaking, I think it was relatively wide open. So,
Was there wide open? Like, were you coming from tree cover? Like, is there going to be an opportunity for a
There was rock cover, and myself and Murgatroyd were engaging with a couple of patrols that were near there as he proceeded to sneak up to the platform. But there's like a little bit of... It's a little hilly so that you wouldn't be immediately spotted. Also, Murgatroyd murdered...
He'll do that.
Oh, okay. I only asked because I have Healer's Gift and it lets me let someone spend a healing surge, and I was like, why can't they just spend their own healing surge?
Yeah, the only way you can spend a healing surge on your own if you're not a cleric or a paladin or whatever is if you use Second Wind.
And then it doesn't use one of my surges, right?
Yes, if...
That doesn't really tell me if it's a encounter or at will type thing. Johnny, how often can I use that?
Sorry, I was crunching some numbers. Missed that. What is your ability? Your lay on hands, you're saying?
No, it's a different one. Instead of spending one of my healing surges, it allows someone else to use one of their own healing surges.
What's the ability called? I'll just Google it real quick. If it doesn't have a name, Healer's Gift, I see.
I'm not sure where my paper copy is, which does tell me what it is. I just have the one that's on here, and it doesn't say.
And of course, there's no thing called Healer's Gift on the wiki.
Give me a
Oh,
second,
here
I'm
we
going
go.
to look for my character sheet.
It's a utility skill.
Is that at will?
I'm looking.
Hold on, I found it. One second. It says utility powers. It says 2 heal.
Does it say if it's a at-will encounter or daily?
No, it's listed below all of those.
They'll say in the upper left corner what it is. Or no, it should say down in the bottom left.
I see nothing else about it on this character sheet.
Is there a page and book reference number?
No?
Of course not.
It's a paladin, right? Your character?
Yes. I'm pulling up the character builder to see if it says it in there.
Healing gift, it was called.
Healer's Gift. Healer, like apostrophe S, gift.
Player's Handbook 3.
Thanks, Mitch.
Okay, good. At least, well, I can use it once at least.
Yeah, it says encounter healing, standard action, melee 1, target 1 creature. If you can spend a healing surge prerequisite, you must be trained in heal.
You found it, Dave? Nice one.
Yeah, it's in the character builder.
Well, did that answer your questions?
Yes. So during an encounter, I can let one person use a healing surge at some point.
Excellent.
Holy shit, this is a lot of dudes.
It is a lot of dudes. So, you guys ride for 3 days. 1, 2, 3.
I don't remember those dudes being there the last time.
Am I riding my horse?
You are all riding horses.
But am I riding my horse? We've become connected. I like that horse.
Yes, you are riding your horse.
If we ever go to Lancashire, can I invest in a flying carpet?
Yes.
Can you show us the world?
If I can remember the following lyrics to that, then yes.
I've karaoke'd that song, but I'm not going to help.
All right. So you guys take the same route that you passed by before, knowing that it is a safe way to circumnavigate the undead army. As you pass by one section of high ground where you stopped before to have a look at the skeletal charioteers, you see off in the distance, illuminated by the sun setting red through the low-hanging clouds, which are shot occasionally with the sheet lightning, another large staging or scaffolding area that has been set up, and it itself is bathed in an eerie amber glow from magical pots that are all put around at the base of this tower-like structure. And when you whip out the scope borrowed from somebody, we're just going to say one of you guys can have a telescope now. You have able to get it. So someone put it on the sheet that they have the telescope.
On it.
The tower is occupied by other wizards and demons cloaked in typical wizard garb, and it's where the sound of that ominous chanting is coming from, as well as you can see now that you're a little bit closer and you can hear drums. The entire tower is outfitted with these large drums that are being beaten by these crazy imp-like demons that have gigantic mallets, which you're pretty sure are skulls on the end of wooden pikes. And they're beating the drums in time to the chanting of the terrible wizards. You do not dally too long to stare at this, otherwise you will have not make it in the 3 days to where you want to go. But you just observe that that is now going on, not far from the front lines either. That's about half a day's ride from the front lines. You see that tower has been erected. And it is pretty metal. I've been playing some Brutal Legends while I designed this particular section of the game, so there'll be some influence from Brutal Legends.
We get Valhalla to play some Face Melters.
I was hoping Valhalla would be here to play some Face Melters, to sprout wings and fly above the battlefield. So it's hard to tell what part of the day, because like I said, from sun up to sundown, it's just gray, overcast. You can't really tell what the hours of the day are as they pass, and the day seems to stretch on into monotony of this gray, colorless, musicless existence under the overhanging cloud cover that's being generated by these evil sorcerers. But you find yourselves here behind the oh so familiar rock cover that you hid behind before. The human soldiers and elven archers and the 2 human clerics kind of just take up position and look to Elliot for further instruction. You can see here these are human soldiers wearing the Gorgon's signs, and you can see piles of blood and stuff over here, but there are no bodies from where Murgatroyd and Heian left their pile of defeated enemies before.
So this tower you're describing, that's farther to the right of this map?
Yeah, that's 2.5 days ride from where you guys are now. So it's way to the south of here.
Okay.
The new tower. This over here that you can see is the... Oh, go ahead.
I was just... Sorry.
No, I was just saying I accidentally hit the top.
Oh. So this tower, it's not like inhabited, but it's not part of the keep. It's not... Is it being used... Can we tell if it's being used by the undead, or...
Okay. Rewind to 2.5 days ago again.
Sorry.
It's all right. I obviously skipped over that too quickly. So you're on this little rise in the ground looking through the telescope to see this tower. The tower is full of evil sorcerers and demon imps. It has been erected by them back behind their lines. So if I was to
To give them a commanding view of the battlefield,
sort of,
so to
yes.
speak.
So here, let me just use this guy here for now. If this is that's bad drawing. If this is Fort Richard, kind of here is the front lines, where you guys have trenches and palisades, right? And there's different fighting going on. Here is like the skeletal forces and things. This is just a rough idea. It's back here is where that tower is that you're observing, that's filled with chanting sorcerers and demons beating giant drums. It is about, half a day's walk from the fort to there, if you could just walk it in a straight line.
And we're much farther up from there.
Oh yeah, you guys are much farther away from there. So on this hypothetical scale drawing, you guys, so to zoom out a bit, there's the fort and the lines and the tower. You guys left the fort, went around the lines, have found a high ground spot here to observe, and then from there you further went all the way around the baddies to 3 days ride, or this was a half a day's ride, so 2.5 more days ride way up behind enemy lines to the source of the evil cloud. And there's just miles and miles of undead.
How it was like a half day's walk, or like a half day's ride to that kind of high ground where we spotted the tower.
Yeah, about a half day's. You could, if it was in a straight line, you could walk it in, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours tops. But because you guys had to go around the sight lines of the undead army, it took you, half a day's ride. So it was about twice the distance because you had to go the long way, so to speak. And
Right.
To get from where you guys are now back to the fort, you could probably do it in a day if you rode straight through, but you'd be cutting straight through their army. So because you guys have to go around and there's mountains and foothills and to try and find paths through around, it takes you 3 days.
Gotcha. I'm wondering if it would be worth it to like send someone back to let them know about that tower, because we had no idea that was there. But I mean, what would they do with that information anyways? And they'll probably see it if we're successful in taking out this cloud cover anyways. Okay. So this is really like, this is the end of the rocky cover right here where we're hiding behind, John?
Yes. After this, there's, it's uneven ground, and I just don't want to draw this entire gigantic map, but with successful stealth checks, you'd be able to go from like low hill to scrubby underbrush to things, but a lot of this ground has been stomped down and tramped by a massive army of undead. So there's, you couldn't walk brazenly out here. You definitely couldn't ride your horse. You would have to scuttle from piece of cover to piece of cover. And as you're watching, these guys kind of move to here and these guys move to there. And they're definitely in a circular patrol pattern.
The clerics we have, do we know what kind of range they have on turning and healing and ranks?
They are low-level clerics. So just from adventuring, traveling, you know that they have 2 healing words that they can do during an encounter, and maybe 1 other healing ability they can do during an encounter, and then they are trained in heal.
Okay. And Arwen, you're using a longbow, right? So we're looking at like 20-40 range.
That is correct.
Okay, so we should be dealing in 50 feet to 100 feet chunks. How are our archers? They're also longbows, sort of thing, Joe?
Yeah, they're elven longbow users as well.
Okay.
Last time we were here, while Herps attempted to sneak around, myself and Murgatroyd were down here, and we basically drew the patrols into us and fought them in amongst the rocks.
That seems like a great idea.
Yeah, out of character for a second. When they drew all the patrols in, they did pretty good for themselves. They seemed to hold themselves pretty well.
Mind you, Murgatroyd and Hayen are tanks.
Yeah. But I mean, now we've got, like, Murgatroyd and Hayen and Jack and Herpes and Vince and Arwen.
And Elliot.
Yeah, but I'm not much of a tank or anything. Oh, my screen just went dark.
My
map. Oh, now we're good.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. Sorry, I should have warned you.
That's cool. Okay, well, I don't really... that's probably a good idea, kind of, if you can... Oh, wait, did the patrols just kind of respawn over and over?
No, but reinforcements were on the way, which is why one of the reasons they had to skedaddle out of there.
Right.
We only took over one patrol, and we could hear more coming.
Gotcha. So more might come from off the map, is what you're saying.
Yes, and there's also a lot more here this time in the first place than last time.
Including some new faces you see.
Yes.
Hayen. Including...
That doesn't look familiar. That doesn't look familiar.
Yeah, so there's a couple dire wolves.
He looks like he would give me lung cancer.
This guy here is one of those leather-clad tieflings that it looks like he's in charge and is bad news. And this guy here is a gigantic smoking wraith.
Yikes.
These are undead dire wolves, Arwen. You might not want one of these unless you can raise it.
No, I kind of wanted a living one.
Well, there's some of those in the Salwood.
We'll get you a dog one of these days.
Although to quote Mitch and Jay, that would be pretty metal if you had a undead direwolf like palling around with you.
I don't think he'd be very friendly or cuddly, though.
No, definitely not.
Probably
very
smell.
soft. And not pictured here, of course, is the ring of slaves around this wheel, and they're mixed race: human, dwarf, elf, and one minotaur. And they're all being whipped by these red demons, including this larger than the rest demon who has a very vicious looking cat o' nine tails whip, and whipping these slaves into continuous motion of pushing this kind of bizarre contraption around, generating the static electric charge.
So we might not even have to kill all these guys. We might just need to stop that wheel.
We're going to have to get to the wheel.
Yeah. But I mean, like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Like, we might not have to kill every last one of them if... I'm sure they've got lots more slaves, but if we can give our forces on the front lines, like, enough of a window of no cloud cover, they might be able to make some headway. So even if... that's fine. So even if we don't completely succeed in this siege... We might be,
If we made of wood, we might be able to break.
True.
But we'll have to wait till he gets back to tell us that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't recall if he told us last week what the wheel itself is actually made out of.
Yeah, I forget too.
Like, I remember him saying there were runes on top, and I remember the slaves pushing it around. I remember all that. I just don't recall if he said it was wood or stone or what.
Steel or a mix or what, yeah.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And these are not all minions, right? These guys that there's lots of. They're not like a one hit point sort of job.
No. It was regularly taking myself and Murgatroyd 2 hits to knock one down.
I wonder if there's something that's giving them all the same buff. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if if we take out one of the somethings, then they lose half their hit points or something.
Or they lose a shield or something.
Yeah.
That's good thinking.
I think.
I play a lot of Magic, so.
Josh, remind me again. I believe this area is the general vicinity of a ley line, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you were getting bonuses for it, and that's one of the reasons why you escaped.
Yeah.
And why you thought you could disrupt the circle in the first place on your own.
Yeah, definitely.
So the power up to his head.
I got a little too big for my britches.
I wonder, would the ley line affect, radiant, holy casters rather than magic casters?
I think Johnny will confirm for sure, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it's just the arcane and not the religious.
Yeah, ley lines are just
I asked that last time.
arcane energy. There are places of stronger spiritual magic which will do the same kind of buffs, but that's not what the ley lines do. But yes, you are correct. We are on a ley line, so those of you who are arcane can roll a 6-sided dice, please.
While they're rolling, do we know what that wheel is made out of? Is it made out of wood, stone, steel?
Wood and stone.
Together, or some parts are wood and some parts are stone?
It's like the machine parts, the big spinning wheel and everything like that is wood, but there seems to be a large stone tablet or like marble slab that's on top that has all the engravings and everything, and that's what's glowing slightly as these 8 wizards are assembled in a circle, not a cluster like on the map, just because it's, a grid. But they're all kind of kneeling in a circle inside this wheel, and the marble slab, which is etched deeply with all these magic runes, is glowing. But the platform itself and the gears and wheel mechanism is all made out of wood. All right, one is faster, so that means that all of your standard actions are minor actions.
Nice.
Sweet.
Just for spells.
I know, but that's still nice.
Yeah.
So, who is ready for this?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right, roll initiative, please.
Sorry, I missed that.
We're rolling initiative.
Oh,
Can you make my character selectable?
Yes. I'm sorry, I didn't know that he wasn't.
Or wait,
Nice.
is he on there?
No, Vince is missing. Hang on, I'll
Cool.
find him. There you go, Vince.
Gracias.
21, nice one, Elliot.
Ham got 22.
Ooh, and single digits for Arwen.
Yeah.
Bet your biscuits she's going last. Oh. You tied with the demons for last place, Arwen.
That's okay.
So the first person to go is actually Hayen.
Our clerics and archers, are they going the same turn as the demons?
The clerics and archers I have put in under Valhalla. So on Valhalla's turn, that's when they go.
Okay.
But I will have, before you go, Elliot, you're going to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep listening to you as long as you're in earshot.
Gotcha. I'd like to spend a second doing like a hand signal.
Oh yeah,
Like
you guys
a-
have 3 days of riding up here to figure out
Yeah.
how to go.
Yeah, no. Like Eddie did in Brutal Legend. When I go like this, shoot at that thing, but just the archers. If I go like this, you guys hang tight.
I'm going to go out to here and make it seem like I'm looking about, but I'm going to be out in the open, obvious, like I am a terrible person at hide and seek.
Excellent. These guys here see you right away then, and they raise the alarm. Well, they will on their turn.
Or that's my first turn.
All right, Elliot, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna tell the soldiers to hang tight. Like the foot soldiers, if their grunts get in close, then the foot soldiers will swarm. The archers will open fire when they get to 20 squares, I guess, which is 100 feet?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so when they get within 100 feet, then they should start decimating, unless further notice, and clerics stand by for healing.
You got it.
Okay, I'm gonna enter stealth mode and start to move to flank. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, buddy.
So, how far can I get with that?
Your movement rate.
Cool. Are you gonna give me anything else, or is it just like movement?
Usually it would be half move if you're moving stealthily.
Okay, that's me.
Vince, you're next.
Can I teleport? Or yeah, I'm just gonna hang out behind this rock and see what other people are doing.
Vince, did you get super special ley line powers?
Yeah, I can do standard action spells as minor, was it?
Yeah.
Sick.
So I'm just installing the character creator now. I found it. So then I can see my character sheet. So I'll sit tight here.
All right, the soldiers are just kind of moving into better position here. Herpes, you can go ahead while I'm moving them.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and move out of the way a little bit to give myself some more space.
Did you adjust your heals and whatnot? You're looking really low on health points there.
Yeah, I'm back up to full HP, and I have 2.
Okay. You can,
If I'd
change
known
your
that,
guy.
we would have given you some surges.
That's fine. I'm good to go.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I got the bars mixed up. Yeah, you're looking fine. Good. So you're just gonna move?
Yes, I have.
Okay, perfect. Jack, your turn.
And wait for something to get too close to blast with Astral Seal.
All right. Okay, these guys, they hustle up. And these guys over here are attracted by the commotion, and they also move towards you. And one of them blows a horn. I think these two guys are still not quite in range for crossbows. But some of these soldiers have like shield and short sword, and a couple of them have crossbows. But one guy over here, this guy blows a horn, which rings out loud and clear and alerts the rest of the army. Heian, your go.
Alright. Moving down. And total defense. Did you catch that?
All out defense. Got it. Good. Sorry, I was doing a little bit of business here. All right. The large, spooky ghost thing is, hears the sound of the bell, turns to look at you guys, and begins moving spookily fast across the battlefield. As he moves, he leaves tendrils of smoke looking like dry ice clinging to the ground where his spectral feet walk. Elliot, your turn.
Okay. Do I need to re-stealth roll every turn?
Not with a crit, no. I'm going to say that you've got it till you choose to lose it.
Did I get skipped? What happened?
I did skip you. Sorry, Arwen. You can jump in right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Why are we not shooting the guys that were standing right by?
They weren't close enough yet. They just got into range.
This turn.
Yeah.
So is it okay for me to try and shoot one?
Please do.
All right. I would like to use bolstering strike. I think I can reach one guy from around that little rock pile.
Oh, snap. All right, which guy? Just ping the guy you were shooting at.
Nice.
Did it do anything?
No, I didn't see.
Okay, got it that time.
That guy there? That guy there?
Yep.
That's your ally. That's one of the elven archers that you guys brought with you. This cluster of guys over here, these are good guys. They're on your team. It's these guys down here that are the bad guys.
That's on our team too.
Sorry. They
This-
don't look like they're on our team.
It's these yellow and white guys down here that are the bad guys.
Okay. I'm going to move closer, and then I'll aim at one of them.
I'm gonna let you keep that roll though.
Oh, you should. It's an okay roll. How about that one?
Perfect. Okay, Arwen just kind of, there she goes. She just kind of steps around this rock, finds a gap between two, sights down her long bow at this guy, lets loose an arrow which tears right through this guy's throat. He drops to the ground, gurgling in a mess.
Nice.
Okay, Elliot, you can finish your turn now. Classic Arwen, one hit kills.
I do my best.
Okay, I'm gonna crossbow. Did that work?
16 versus AC is just not enough.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see. Okay. All right. That's too bad.
Even with your hidden, so you do have combat advantage, 19 versus AC is not enough.
Yeah, that's all right.
You do, however, now lose your concealment as your arrow clatters against his shield and alerts them to your presence.
Curses. I'll move. I'll finish my move.
Vince, your turn.
So how many minors do I get a turn?
You can do 2 minors and a move.
And I can't sack the move for more minors?
Yes, you can in this case.
Oh, sweet. How many? 2 more? Or just one?
Just one more.
Alright, I'm gonna curse that guy. And I'm gonna Eldritch Blast all of them. Start going clockwise.
Sure thing.
1 crit fail, so they all miss.
No, just that one, I'm going to say, backfires, and you take 4 points of damage. You're not used to this extreme arcane power from being on the ley line, and what you originally thought was just going to be 1 Eldritch Blast, 3 jump out of you in rapid fire succession. You're kind of caught off guard, and you end up burning your own hand for 4 points of damage.
Sweet.
But that 22 hits.
Bueno. 13 points of damage.
Excellent. Yeah. The deep purple fire cascades over that guy, burning him quite severely. He calls out in surprise and pain. You hear a bellow of rage in the Gorgon's tongue, which sounds a lot like the infernal tongue. And the tiefling commander guy takes a few steps towards you and begins casting a spell.
We better get him.
All right.
The tiefling commander is this guy?
Correct.
Okay.
The human soldiers are not going to rush out, but they are going to get in like a slightly bit more defensible position here to help cover this area of rocks and protect the archers. This guy's going to go to here. The archers will move up a little bit so that they can get better shots. And they do. They fire off a bunch of shots. I'm going to say that they finish off this guy that Vince was attacking. Herpes, your turn.
Alrighty. I'm going to move forward. And then I'm going to throw out an acid orb right over there.
All right. That is a hit. 8 points of damage. Nice one.
Cool. And I attacked this guy right there that's in the front.
All right. Got it. He's correct. You have another minor action. And because your spells, you're on the ley line, your spells are minors, you could hit him with another acid orb if you wanted.
Sure, that'd be great.
That one also hits.
6 points. Was that, Johnny? Another standard? Sure, don't mind if I do.
Yeah. That's the last time I'm going to remind you, though. From here on out, you got to remember. Jack, your turn.
Jack's moving up. And give me a sec. I gotta check the range on something.
Sure thing. I'm going to move some of the other baddies while you're doing that.
And that would be enough range to cast Astral Seal on this guy. Presuming it hits.
Let her rip. 13 versus reflex is not enough, unfortunately.
Okay. That's all he can do this turn.
Arwen, your turn. Oh, sorry, the soldiers go before you guys, before Arwen. But anyway, these two are just going to close to there, and those guys can get to there, at which point two of these guys are going to shoot crossbows at Elliot. I got a 20 and a 17 versus your AC, Elliot.
Both miss.
All right. Arwen, your turn.
I would like to use Enfeebling Strike at this guy here.
All right. 13 versus AC is unfortunately a miss. For the first time ever, you guys see Arwen fire off an arrow and it does not make contact.
Sad face.
Must have been Herpes' fault.
Of course.
Hey, and your turn.
And shift down, and then going to do a shield fent, whatever it's called.
Faint.
17 versus AC is unfortunately a miss.
Yikes. These guys are tough.
Nope, that's it.
All right, the spectral wraith creature moves ahead. It's eerie silence and quickness. And you can see off in the distance the large demon kind of turns, and you can hear a cackling laugh come from it, as though he knows who's out there. Elliot, your turn.
I'm gonna switch weapons. Move to here, switch weapons, and try and summon snakes to our aid. I know that most animals are gone, but I gotta try it.
Oh, right, yeah, with your blood ability. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you cannot sense any snake life out here.
Damn.
Nothing, no creatures, not even any insects kind of thing, right? It really is a valley of death.
Okay. Well, damn. I guess I'll alert the foot soldiers to these guys coming up from up here, and get the clerics to stand by for healing. And I'm guessing they're wielding maces, sort of thing.
Yes.
Okay, then, yeah. Everyone, get ready, and when the time comes, focus your fire on the big scary.
Vince, your turn.
Something's up with my roll 20.
It just got kicked off.
Yeah, I had to refresh it.
Yeah, it's stuck on loading for me.
Ugh.
I'll hold action till. Oh, looks like it's down.
Yeah, mine's doing it too now.
Mine's okay.
Mine looks okay.
Me too.
I see people disappearing.
I can still do rolls. I'm gonna refresh.
Yeah, I'm good now. I'm back. And zoomed way in. Get out of there. Zoom in. This battle's way too big to be zoomed in that
There we go.
close.
Who'd you say we were saving our hits for? Which dude?
I told the our support crew that the archers should focus on the big scary guys, while the foot soldiers and clerics take out the minions.
In that case, I'll start pewing these guys up here. I'll curse this fella. And going clockwise, the 3 up there.
Hey, the first 2 are hits.
21.
Nice.
Yeah, 21. And 17.
Excellent.
First one was cursed. Cool.
Yes, you burn them both quite severely. The one that you cursed is not looking very healthy, but they are both still standing.
Wow.
All right, Herpes, you can go while I maneuver the troops.
Alrighty. That one right there, I believe he's cursed. I'm going to do another acid attack on him. 17 versus reflex.
That is a hit.
4-point damage. And then since spirits are minors, I'm going to kind of throw another one at him.
Nice.
20 reflex, 4-point damage.
All right, 2 bubbles of acid slam into this guy. His skin sizzles and bubbles underneath his armor, and he turns and looks right at Herpes and spits some blood and saliva and toxin out from the slit in his helmet, but he does not fall. He's very
think he's
blooded, though.
I think you can do one more, unless you moved, Herpes.
I think, I mean, if I'm able to move, I think moving is probably my better way to go.
What?
He who fights and runs away.
Just shut up and run.
Yeah, I don't feel like dying this round.
Excellent, Jack, your turn. I'm just going to move.
Jack attacks the guy in front of him.
All right, let her rip, Jack.
Versus AC.
That's a hit.
And both Jack and Heian get a +1 bonus to AC.
Nice.
Till the end of Jack's next turn.
So out of character just a second, just to confirm, our plan was, I think I was away from keyboard, our plan was to draw as many of these baddies in as possible.
Pretty much, and then just kind of wait for an opening. I don't think this is out of character particularly. Yeah, wait for an opening and kind of push to disable that wheel when an opportunity presents itself.
But we had to thin the crowd first.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, I guess it's too late to ask, but did you want to send a small strike force out to get around?
No, they'll get squat.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Oh, man, lots of zooming in and zooming out. But there's no way I could have staged this on an actual table. Not even my giant table.
Yeah.
That guy moves to there. I'm going to say that these guys all move up to this soldier and kill him.
Jesus. Did their turn didn't get skipped, right? I don't remember them attacking or anything this turn.
No, this is their turn right now.
No,
the soldiers?
soldiers?
Yeah, the soldiers kind of moved into position there to create a wall between the archers and themselves. And these two down here are going to attack. Heian, miss, and Jack. Ooh, crit on Jack, unfortunately. So that is 8 points of damage for Jack. And the Gorgon soldier howls in mocking laughter that he's just damaged a fearsome minotaur. I'm going to say that he curses at you in Inurian in hopes that you can understand it, that you will join your prisoner friend on the wheel and be broken. Arwen, your turn.
I'm going to move closer to where Jack is, still hopefully hiding behind rocks, and I'm going to take aim at that guy right in front of him and shoot a bowstring strike.
That's a hit. All right, you see the familiar sight of one of the shafts of Arwen's arrows appear in this guy's upper chest area, puncturing through his armor and deep into his pectoral. You see some blood squirt forth. You get 1 temporary HP. That's pretty sweet. So, one thing that would be great, Crystal, and is great for me, but not so great for you, is you're going to have to count your arrows in this fight. So you've used 2 so far.
Okay.
I don't know how many you start with, but I think it's like 60 in a full-size quiver or something. But who knows?
Let's go with that because I'm not sure either, so.
Who knows how long this battle's going to go? You might end up using all those arrows.
Okay, counting as of now.
Heian, your turn.
Heian's going to attack the guy to the north. Oh, and I'm making sure he's still marked.
Go ahead.
Versus AC again.
That is a miss, unfortunately. His armor and shield stop your
My shield.
elven sword. Or your shield, yeah. Shield against shield. The Wraith moves forward again, opening his mouth in a bit of a silent scream, but the air seems to turn colder as though he is chilling the air around him with a chilly aura. Elliot, your turn.
I don't suppose we can have Murgatroyd NPC since we're so heavily outnumbered here.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll have to put him into initiative order.
Oh, no rush.
All right. He's last.
Okay. Shout to the archers. I thought we'd have more of these goons down. take the goons. We'll leave the wraith to us, and I will sly flourish one of these dudes.
They look pretty scared. Make a diplomacy or intimidate check.
19, and I'll boost that to 21 with my charisma boost.
Excellent. Well, that's a good use of that charisma boost. So they are they're still scared, but they have the grim look of defiance on their face now.
Yeah, we can do it. I hope. And I'll sly flourish this time.
Go right ahead.
God damn it.
That's unfortunately not enough. Your weapon slides across his armor.
And I'll move.
Vince, your turn.
Can I make a swipe with my trident to attack multiple guys? If I take a hit penalty, maybe.
I'm gonna say yes, but what we'll do is you do one damage roll, and you have to decide how much damage you're going to inflict on each target.
Okay. I will teleport right here.
Okay.
And wait, where'd Elliot move to?
I jumped down behind the rock.
Okay. Okay, I'll attack the first. Well, I'll do the swipe thing.
So the top two guys.
28.
Yeah, you hit the first one. Now make another attack. We'll say -2 to hit the second one.
Damn.
24.
Yep, they're both hits. So you do one damage roll, and then you divide up the damage however you want.
I'll do which ones hurt more.
They are
Can I
both
tell?
bloodied.
I'll split it right down. Well, not right down the middle. So I'll do fucking 9 to one, 8 to the other. 9 to the first guy.
Excellent. The first guy, your trident cleaves right through him, and he falls to the ground. And you keep the momentum going into the next guy, who absorbs the hit and doesn't drop.
I'll teleport back to where I was.
Okay.
Can you just
Mike-
teleport a lot there, Vince?
When a guy that's cursed dies, I get another teleport.
Gotcha.
I want to see if my curse is a free action. I feel like it's a minor. Do I have any minors left?
Yeah, I don't think you used any minors. You did a attack and a move.
I'll curse this guy then.
All right, excellent. The soldier types move to there. This guy engages in some combat with this guy, and these four guys shoot arrows at this guy here, who is now stuck with some arrows and bloodied. Herpes, your turn.
All right. Home slice that's cursed. I'm gonna throw an acid orb at him.
That's a hit.
And 4 points of damage.
Okay.
And then, I'll do the same thing again to him.
Okay. That one's a miss. Goes wide and splashes into the cursed earth.
And if I'm able to move, I'll do so.
Yep, you can move. Jack, your turn.
Jack attacks. Versus AC.
That hits.
And bonuses to myself and Hayden's AC.
Booyah. That's a mighty blow. You hear bones crunch and crack as you swing your axe into this guy. The armor dents and splits. You're able to purchase clear through to bone and skin. Nice shot, Jack.
Wait, I got my axe back?
Oh, I thought you were using an axe. You can just be using any old axe, or are you using your spear?
Hoof.
Are you using a spear, Jack?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, the piercing of the spear digs deep into the guy's armor and still does awesome damage. All right. Their soldier's turn, and this big bag demon walks a couple steps. He's just kind of casually walking forward, the big red demon that Herpes remembers oh so well from last time. All right. These three soldiers close in on this guy and kill him. And these two will attempt to attack Hayen and Jack. That's a miss for Hayen and a 20 versus AC for Jack.
That's a miss.
All right, they both miss.
Thank goodness for that bonus.
All right, Arwen, your turn.
Give me one sec. I'm going to turn around but stay in my position, and I'm going to fire at this guy, bolstering strike.
That is a tie. Their AC is 19. So unfortunately, your arrow hits into his armor, but it doesn't find bone or muscle underneath.
Does anyone have a bump?
Actually, I think I have two, so can I use one of mine?
You sure can.
Using one.
All right, you bump it up. Which guy was it again? The cursed guy or the one that's closer to Elliot? Yeah, him. All right. He takes 6 points of damage. Nicely done. Murgatroyd is going to be like, you got this, Vince. And then do his trademark charge up to this guy who's already pretty badly hurt. So he's just going to finish him.
Nice.
Hey, Ian, your turn.
Ian's going to attack the guy to the north again, and hopefully this time he'll hit. Versus AC.
That's a hit.
And he's going to get a power bonus against that guy the next time he attacks him.
Excellent. Right on. A mighty shield smash. The Wraith, sensing strong magical power coming from the north side of this battlefield, is heading straight for Herpes and Vince.
Shit.
He's going to move right through there, so a whole bunch of people can take opportunity attacks against him.
Just basic, we don't get any powers.
No, just straight attacks.
Vince Delicious, I think you and I are gonna get fucked up.
Nah, we will be the ones who are doing the fucking. We got this.
23 versus AC, John.
That's a hit.
7 damage.
Is that a magical weapon you're attacking with?
No.
Then it does no damage at all.
Shit.
I believe that Arwen, it passes by you. You can also take an opportunity attack against it.
I would like to.
You whip around and twang an arrow through it, or was that a kick? Oh no, it was you clicked on enfeebling strike. Opportunity attack is just a basic melee attack or basic ranged attack. But it doesn't matter, you missed anyway. But I will say that you tried to do a melee, so you just tried to kick it or swing at it with your bow instead of trying to shoot an arrow so you don't waste an arrow.
Thank you.
You do feel, and now I will reveal, that it has an aura as well. And any creatures that start their turn inside this aura are going to take frostbite damage. Elliot, you're just on the ragged edge, so you can see these two soldiers ahead of you, ice crystals kind of forming on the tips of their mustaches and on the edges of their clothing where it was wet from travel.
Copy that. On my turn, I'll inform them.
It's your turn now.
Then I'm gonna shout, clerics hit the wraith. Everyone stay 10 feet away from the wraith. Archers and soldiers focus on the goons. Clerics and everyone magic hit that wraith. Only magic can hurt it.
Murgatroyd says, check, hit the wraith.
And I will attack this goon.
That's it.
Yeah, 31 for 14 damage.
Excellent. You stabinate him mightily. Vince, your turn.
I will eye bite him. This is my minor.
Anyone got a bump? Jack has a bump and Murgatroyd has a bump.
If Murgatroyd has a bump, he'd use it. I'm pretty sure.
Sweet. All right, I will run up to here.
All right, you feel yourself entering that aura of cold. It's quite chilly.
Curse him.
He is impervious to your cursing.
Oh,
Damn.
But
not my trident, though.
your trident does hit.
Kia.
And because it is a
Ghosts
magical
don't like
weapon,
racism.
it does hurt. The wraith kind of howls. It throws back its head and its mouth opens wide, but the only sound that you hear is the sound of a cold winter wind blowing through the trees. All right. This guy will take some cold damage, so will this archer, so will this archer. They don't die, but they definitely move away from the wraith. The two clerics kind of move up, and they both cast Lances of Faith against the wraith, doing some damage to it. And I'm going to say, actually, that these soldiers and this archer move up here, and they take out this guy. And these archers down here finally take out this guy. Herpes, your turn.
Okay. I'm going to move right to here. Just out of curiosity, these piles of rocks that are there, how tall are they?
They're about man height. So if you're behind them, you get cover from, ranged attacks.
Excellent. Assuming I have line of sight now on this thing, which I do, acid orb attack.
Okay.
A versus B, that's a miss.
No, yeah. Unfortunately, your acid orb goes wide and splashes harmlessly against the rocks.
Okay.
Hit him again.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm gonna take out one of the big guns and friggin' use my chromatic orb daily attack against him.
Nice.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
Today is not my day.
That is unfortunate.
Bristol has 1 bump point left, and Jack has 1 bump point left if we want to spend them right now.
7.
Has 2. Jack will spend 1.
Ah, good. Because I was going to have that go off right in Herpes' own face. So instead, unfortunately, your chromatic orb just slams into this thing and you do the miss. So it's 4 damage. And it was a, what color? 5. Blue, cold damage. So unfortunately, no damage. In fact, you healed it.
Oh, shit.
That's rough.
Jack, your turn.
Jack will attack the creature in front of him.
Jack, that spear, if that's the same spear that I gave you, that's a magic +1 spear.
Yep, I know.
Okay, so yeah, you could hurt the frost thing with it.
That's versus AC, by the way.
That's a hit. Excellent. Jack pulls the spear out of the chest plate of this creature that you had it pinned in before and drives it back in through the exact same hole. It goes deep,
Nice.
blood spurts out, and that Gorgon soldier drops.
And he's going to move up there in anticipation of going after the Wraith.
Does Jack get the same ley line bonus? Does he get
No.
minus? Okay.
Wrong kind of magic.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys got to get yourselves to a temple. All right, so these wolves were already designed in to attack on Jack. So 2 of them are going to Jack, and 2 of them are going to Heian. They just deviate their course slightly. The 2 that are attacking Jack, guy got a 24 and a 22 versus your AC.
Both hit. Or wait, no. Yes. Yeah, they both hit.
6 points of damage from one and 3 points of damage from the other. And the ones attacking Halen is a 21 and a 21 versus your AC.
They both miss.
All right. Halen is much quicker with his shield and is able to get it in between him and these nasty dogs as they chomp at you with their jaws that are missing teeth and whatnot. The big red demon casually strides a few steps closer, and all of these soldiers move in. Let's see how close they can get.
An
Yuck.
area of attack.
Shit. Oh, God. I didn't know all those guys were down there.
So this guy is just going to take his one move, and then he's going to shoot at, I guess Elliot's the most obvious with his crossbow.
No, oh, he's got a crossbow, okay.
I got a 19, so that's 25 versus your AC.
That's a hit. 25?
Yeah, they get a +6.
Shit.
5 points of damage. Arwen, you start your turn inside the aura, so please take 6 points of cold damage.
Okay, and then am I able to move out of the aura?
You sure are.
Okay, I'm going to move down behind this rock, but in a place where I can still fire an arrow at that big fella. And then I'm going to use Righteous Smite, which I've never used before.
That is a hit. His AC is not great. Righteous Smite, is that radiant damage?
1 sec. It says Divine.
Hey, if it doesn't have radiant in the keyword, then it's not radiant damage. Still, 25 points of damage is nothing to sneeze at.
But the guys, the wolves, are they within range so that they get that +6 bonus?
Yep. We're all within 5 of you. Or
Maybe
a
not
good
Herpes.
chunk of us.
Not Jake.
Yeah, not Elliot, Murgatroyd, and Herpes. But everyone else is within 5 of you.
Sweet. I'll take back 5 of that 6 I lost.
So yeah, everyone, I guess you can all see that in the text bubble.
Yep.
All right, Murgatroyd is going to say, this shit's getting real, and he's going to do his classic dwarven dogleg run. Like, it looks like he's running away, but then turn his movement into a charge and come up and, this guy's already got some damage against him. So Murgatroyd's just going to finish that guy off. Hey, Ian, your turn.
Gonna shift back and attack the doggy in the north window. Mark it and hopefully smack it with a shield.
Oh, yeah. Pretty
Sweet.
sure that's a hit. Yep, that's a hit.
So he'll get a bonus against it next time. And yeah, it's marked. If it's not dead.
It's not dead. They're pretty tough dogs. All right, the Wraith, seeing that Vince is right there, is just going to turn and swipe at Vince with its ghastly ethereal hand. And that is a 25 versus your AC, Vince.
That's a hit.
That's 5 points of cold damage, Vince, as the hand kind of passes through you but leaves tendrils of frost across your clothing and skin. Elliot, your turn.
I'm gonna shout for the soldiers, archers to just keep the goons at bay if they can. Stay out of the cold and riposte. 27 versus AC.
Yep, that's a hit.
Okay, for and I don't think these guys just got here, right?
Yep.
Okay, I don't know if that counts as not having acted. No, I guess because movement is an action. So just 7 damage then.
Hey, every ounce counts.
Yep.
Vince, you start your turn in the aura. Take 6 points of cold damage, please.
Okay, I'm going to trident him again. 22 versus AC.
That is a hit.
13 points damage, and I'm going to fire off. I can still do a minor, so I'm going to. Am I adjacent to him, or is that count as one spot away?
Yeah, you're adjacent. You're within. If you do a spell, he'll get an opportunity attack.
Okay, I will say put.
Okay.
I'll give him a finger. I'll be like, fuck you, ghost.
You don't have any pews left, Mitch?
What's that?
You don't have any pews left on him?
Well, I mean, he'll hit me. He'll get an opportunity.
Oh, right.
All right, the two clerics fire off another round of Lances of Faith into the Wraith and do a little bit more damage to it. I'm going to say that the soldiers here are holding action until these guys close, but the archers managed to take out this goon and this goon.
Huzzah.
Herpes, your turn.
Alrighty. A question for you: If the range says area burst 1 within 10 squares, does that mean that I have up to 10 squares to throw a power, and then it just goes off within 1 square or something?
It means that you throw something up to 10 squares, and then where it lands, you get that square plus 1 square around it in every direction. So you're actually doing a 9-square grid in up to 10 squares.
Wicked. I am going to do that with another daily, Phantom Chasm, on the Wraith.
All right.
Alright, so 6 versus Will, that's a miss. So target is immobilized until the end of his next turn.
All right. Yes. And
And I did not put it in there, but it actually says on the thing half damage as well, and target falls prone. I know it doesn't say on the thing.
that's fine.
Awesome.
Half damage, and he falls prone. So it's weird for a ghost to fall prone. So I'm gonna say that the vapors kind of coil and broil themselves lower to the ground as he is sucked downwards by the imaginary chasm that opens up beneath him. Jack, your turn.
All right.
Oh, the wraith is also leaking thick smoke like a dry ice from its various orifices. It is ghost bloodied. Go ahead, Jack.
Okay. Jack is going to cast a minor, Augment of War, to empower his spear. And then he's going to charge the Wraith and make a basic attack.
Wow, okay. That's fine, guys. What time is it? It's 9:45. Well, I don't know. We'll go to 10 and then we'll see what the rest of the gang feels like. Beauty thing about Roll20 is we can just pause it. If you have the abilities, you can give it a shot. Hey, and that's a 22 for you on that basic melee attack, right? Except it's Jack.
Yes, it's Jack. Sorry.
That is a hit.
Bam.
And this
Thank
is a
you.
magically augmented spear.
Yes.
All right. Jack steps forward with the spear glowing with rune energy and slams it into the slightly reclined figure of the chilly wraith, which then vaporizes, casting snow and cool winds, blowing everybody's skirts up, Marilyn Monroe style.
Sick.
And, yeah, that will end his turn. Because Jack was just badass.
Pretty badass. All right after Jack, it's the wolves' turn. And since Jack has kind of jumped in there, the wolves all turn their attention to Heian. So I got 2 of the 3 rolls were over 21. I think that's your AC, 21?
Hold on. Yes.
All right. So you take 8 points of damage from one attack and 4 points of damage from the other wolf attack. All right. The demon continues to casually stroll forward. These 2 Gorgon soldiers step up to attack Elliot. I got a crit from one of them, so that's 8 points of damage for Elliot. And the other one got a 22 versus your AC.
Sorry, 9 points of damage?
8.
8, and 22 hits.
And that's 7 points of damage from that other guy's longsword. The guy with the crossbow will shoot at Elliot again. He misses. These ones step up. These 3 down here are going to close on Heian and Arwen. The one who's attacking Heian misses, and the ones who are attacking Arwen, the highest, I got a 9 versus your AC and a 19 versus your AC.
Miss.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you're awesome plate mail. Deflecting that.
Hey, John?
Yes?
Can I squeeze in my riposte strike on the guy that hit me?
Yes, you can.
17 versus AC, does that hit?
No, it unfortunately does not.
It does not. Dinger.
All right, all these yellow soldiers kind of muscle in here and kill this guy.
Question.
Go ahead.
Didn't you say that they had held their action until people got close?
It's true. So I'm going to say that they got one. Traded 1 for 1 there. Those guys are going to move up on Jack. Only one of them can get through to the attack, though. And that is a 19 versus his AC.
That's a miss.
Yeah, those guys are all crowding through there, trying to get some cover in the rocks themselves. I gotta zoom out. This one lonely guy here. Wait for me, guys. Wait up. I'm coming.
Murgatroyd!
Just in time, Murgatroyd. We're going to call it. Maybe not if Jay's here. Oh. Just came back to get salt. What are you into, buddy? Oh, thank you. Arwen, your turn.
Alright, I'm going to move back behind this rock here. And I'm going to cast Shielding Smite on... Is this... Hyan? Who's surrounded by all these wolves and people?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I should target a creature as well, I guess. 1 second. This guy here.
I think the shield only takes effect if you successfully hit. If it's anything like the shield.
Okay.
Yes, so correct. 13 is unfortunately a miss. Their armor is quite substantial. Murgatroyd is going to loop around here to get some combat advantage with Elliot and probably do a reaping strike against that guy. So he's going to score some damage against him. Ooh, not that much though. Hyan, your turn.
Hyan's got a plan. I'm gonna shift back to here, and I want to do Tide of Iron against this guy, because if I succeed, I push them 1 square, and then I can shift into their square, but I'm hoping if I push him, I knock him into his buddies and start a little domino
I
effect.
like it. If you succeed, I'll do dexterity saving throws for all of them.
I do not succeed.
That is unfortunately not. No, you clash shield to shield again. Sparks fly up, but neither one of you budge.
Wait. I'm going to use my Elven Accuracy.
Aha.
And I'm going to re-roll.
That's better.
That's versus AC, though.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Yes! I'll roll damage while you're...
So you managed to knock those 4 guys prone and do 9 points of damage to this guy. I like it. Elliot, your turn.
That was a good use of a reroll.
It certainly was. You can shift into his space as well there. Hyan.
I have the choice, but I'm not going to.
Oh, okay, perfect. You hear a clash and clatter of armor as a excellent game of soldier bowling is going on to the south of you, Elliot.
Nice.
That is a hit.
Yeah, so riposte him for 13 damage.
He is bloodied, but
it.
still standing. Vince, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to Hunger of Hadar, my daily.
Oh, this is getting good.
Burst creates his own. It's area burst 1 within 10 squares. So I'm going to make it.
Please, where everyone's bunched up.
Let's see how. Oh, fucking draw thing.
If you can do squares, and then if you hold down the Alt key, it'll snap to grid.
It's just not like doing anything.
There, you ping where you want it, and I'll draw it.
So that would be the center square.
Oh, sorry, wrong button.
Sure. Okay, burst creates a zone of darkness until the end of your next turn, blocking line of sight. Creatures that enter the zone or start their turns take 2d10 necrotic damage. Oh wait, these guys are undead, aren't they?
No. These are the
Okay.
Gorgon soldiers. They're alive. Right now, the only undead you're facing is these wolves.
Oh, okay. 2d10, stay in minor. Do I have to make an attack with this? I don't understand.
It says it creates a zone and targets that start their turn in the zone.
Actually, it doesn't have an attack. It just says effect, I guess.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it's a zone.
Right. It creates a zone of darkness.
so when do they get hurt? At the start of their turn, or if they enter
Correct.
it? Okay, so at the start of their turn, that's when it goes off.
Or if they enter.
Or if they enter. Perfect.
And they can't see shit.
Yeah.
Block.
So yes, a zone of darkness appears here, and almost at the same time as Vince shouts out his extra strong magic words from being on the ley line, your vocal component of your spells seems to boom and resonate louder with the added bonus of the ley line's arcane energy. As you finish the spell and open up this area of darkness here, this tiefling warlock wizard over here finishes his spell, and the ground begins to rumble and crack, and hands shoot up as the fallen soldiers that you guys have just killed, coupled with the undead from before, rise out of the ground to join their ranks.
Fuck.
Yeah, he just summoned a whole whack of zombies.
Sorry, and I missed who it was that did it.
I'll point at Herbie.
Okay.
Be like, wasn't me.
It was Hermes that did it.